So what are the most important social media platforms as you see it the doctor should use?
Well, for every practice, it's Facebook. Facebook's the most popular social media network in the country, and it continues to be popular among especially moms and baby boomers, those people that are in many of our healthcare target markets. So Facebook's really important, and then Google Plus is also extremely important from a local search and visibility standpoint. So some people say, why do we need Google Plus? People aren't using it like they use Facebook, but Google Plus is a Google product. It may also be referred to as Google Business. They keep changing the name and tweaking things with the tool, but it's a really important tool, Google Plus as well as Facebook. So those two are really mandatory, in my opinion, for every practice. And then depending on your situation, we may recommend Twitter or Instagram. You need to have an active presence also on the different review sites like Yelp and Dr. Oogle, even though some people aren't that fond of dealing with the review sites because you can't remove negative reviews. They're still extremely important. They help you to build up your Google credibility. Google looks at your identity. When you have different reviews on different review platforms, it counts as good Google credibility. So there are a number of different reasons why you want to use these different tools, but having a variety of content, good content, and positive testimonials on each of these sites is really crucial and really important today.
Okay, good. Now I know you have a lot to say about this particular topic. Recently, in fact yesterday, an oral surgeon, client of mine, said, I hear you talk about Rita Zamora. What do you think? And it's like, I don't even know where to begin. I listened to you one day, going into it thinking, maybe there's not that much to social media. And I heard you speak, I think, that day for about 8 hours, right?
Yes.
And so when you answer these questions and we're talking here for 3 or 4 minutes on this segment, I mean, this is a big topic for you, isn't it? I mean, there are so many ways to go, so many subtle nuances. And as a company, just so I'm clear, because people are always asking me, exactly what does Rita do for me? What can she do for me? Mm-hmm. So answer that question.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes people think of social media and they say, oh, well, you can post cute pictures of puppies, or we'll put some pictures of our staff and that should be it. But there's really so much more to it. It does change literally every day, but one of the most important things that we do for our clients is to help them to craft a strategy.
Okay.
And you also get the power of collective knowledge when you work for us. So we've worked with literally hundreds of healthcare and dental professionals over the years. We know what works and what doesn't work, and we can also make recommendations that other practices may not have heard of, because we can see where practices are having successes and make recommendations for other practices that we're working with that are similar, that they could leverage and personalize for their specific practice. So there's a lot more to it than just posting photos of your team or funny pictures of a cute puppy or cute baby. There's a lot more to social media than that.
Now you're a firm believer in don't hire a personal, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but there are people that are hiring these social media so-called experts that do it all for them. And a lot of my clients like that. They say, I just want to give it to somebody and they do it all, mm-hmm. right? My staff doesn't have the time. You teach them to do it themselves for just a few minutes a day. Is that correct? And elaborate on that.
Yeah, we do. We have
and why that's a good idea.
We have a training program where we can work with the doctor's team whenever they're available. We work with them at days and times that's convenient for them so that they can be empowered. They have the ability to see, what is this collective knowledge that Rita Zamora Connections and her team have, that from working with all of these clients over the years, we can train them so that they can leverage these tools for themselves. And we also have a monthly support program. So if we have a practice that says we would love to manage it internally, but we can't, we just don't have the resources or the time, then we would create personalized content for them and really help to keep them informed of what's going on and what's being said about them. That's really important, because there are some agencies that say, we'll handle everything for you, but then the practice isn't really informed, and they're also sometimes providing generic content for them,
okay.
which is not very interesting. I mean, as you know social media, you use it really well and often. I see you on Facebook all the time, so you can tell when there's information that's being posted on behalf of a business or a practice that isn't really authentic. It's not personalized. It's just the same generic topics that they might find anywhere else. And so that type of content isn't interesting and it's not engaging. So what we do for practices who want monthly support, that need our help and don't have the time to handle it, is to really work to personalize content specifically for them. We go through an in-depth interview process with them to learn more about their practice, their community, their goals, what they want to be known for, procedures they want to do more of, and then we craft a strategy around that for them.
Now, the doctor that I was speaking to yesterday, they said, but we don't have the time. And I hope I wasn't speaking out of turn, but I said, I think with Rita's, after the training, Rita's going to show them how to do it in just minutes a day, like probably under 5 minutes a day. Is that correct? I mean, could it be done in 5 minutes a day?
It could be, but that same strategy is not going to work for every practice. They might be a larger practice
But
with
10 minutes
multiple
a day?
locations. It could be 10 minutes a day, and it may not be every day. When people hear that, they're like, I don't have time to do it every day. So it may mean an hour at the end of the week, or it might mean 30 minutes, every few days. So it doesn't have to be in a fixed, schedule, and it doesn't have to be so rigid. That's one of the benefits of social media that I think some people try and make it really rigid. There's systems that can be put into place that can help make it much more powerful for your practice from a benefit standpoint, but it doesn't have to be rigid.
So who do you choose to do this, to head this up? The practice administrator or somebody in the practice that just, likes Facebook or likes social media?
Yeah, it's the practice administrator or the office manager, but we also work with a lot of hygienists, if you can believe it. There's a lot of hygienists that have a pretty good business acumen, and they may have free time every now and again to be able to handle social media. And then sometimes the doctor wants to handle the social media for the practice, and in that case, if it works well, that's a good option as well.